Hello folks, welcome back to Devil's Talk. Are you in a good way here? It has been one hell of a week for Manchester United fan. I'm not going to lie, one hell of a week. Rúben Amorim got sacked. Darren Fletcher take over as to an interim and withdraw against Burnley. 2-2 draw. Still scoring goals, still conceding goals. Seems like nothing has changed. And the managerial search continue. First, for interim manager that will only be here for 6 months, and then potentially a full-time manager that will come in the summer. So it has been a busy time at Manchester United. And let's dive into it. Let's start with Rúben Amorim. I know there's a lot of people out there that think this man is a martyr and that he sacrificed his own career to expose the ownership that is the Glazers and the Ineos sporting structure that did not support him. While I agree with that sentiment, I do also think Rúben Amorim was not good enough. And in the 14 months that he was a manager at Manchester United, results were not good enough. Of course, he wasn't back properly. Of course, he came through mid-season. There's so many circumstances that were not ideal for him. However, at the end of the day, you are judged based on results, and the results were not good enough for him. There's no way you keep a manager with that much results, with that type of winning percentage, with that type of winning record for a club like Manchester United. That would have been a disservice to us. However, I also understand that if for more than you guys out there saying, well, he wasn't sacked for the results. He was sacked because he went against the hierarchy. And that is a fair point. 100%. That's a fair point. I personally agree with that. I'm saying I wanted Rúben Amorim to be sacked based off results, and that the results were not good enough for Manchester United and for a manager of his quality. However, the reason he was sacked, to me, don't make no sense. And I feel like everybody was stepping on each other's toes. Sporting director want to be the most important person. A manager not feeling supported, latch out, and end up costing his job. All of those could be true. But at the end of the day, we are Manchester United fan. We are not Rúben Amorim fan. And for those who supported Rúben Amorim that think that Manchester United is going to die because of that, I don't know what to tell you, but that's not true. Manchester United might not recover, but it won't because we let go Rúben Amorim. Probably going to be because in the terrible decisions that the higher up keep making, irregardless of the manager in the dugout. That's going to be our downfall, not that Rúben Amorim was sacked after 14 months in Manchester United, where the results were completely terrible. That's not going to be our downfall. I can guarantee you that. So, now that it's gone, what are we doing? Manchester United are taking probably the most sensible approach that they should have done when they sacked Erik ten Hag. Because when they sacked Erik ten Hag, they went immediately looking for the permanent manager, even though the manager market was quite thin and there was nobody obviously available. Therefore, they searched and they ended up finding Rúben Amorim, point in mid-season, and came in and had a terrible end of the season. And that, to me, is contributing factor to why he was sacked. Because if he had came in last summer, nobody would have been calling for his head, considering where we are right now in the league. So, do not repeat the same mistake, and it seems that they're not going to be repeating the same mistake. Right now, it's being reported that they are talking, excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit sick. But right now, it's being reported they are talking to Michael Carrick or Ole Gunnar Solskjær to be an interim manager until they can find the right guy that will start in the summer. And to me, that I think this is more as a more calculated, more major approach to appointing the permanent manager of Manchester United, because after the World Cup or at the end of the summer, there's going to be multiple managers that are out of their job. The two that are front runners right now are both going to be coaching in the World Cup. So the chances that they're going to be available after. And why limit yourself to try to find a manager right now when you can put somebody who's competent that will do the job for 6 months and then do a proper hiring process, the one you should have done before. So this is a sign maybe they're learning, but I understand the approach. And in terms of who should be the interim manager right now, of the two names they're talking about, then the number one thing they have in common is that they understand the Manchester United DNA. They're from here. So Ole, we have done this before. So that's the only reason why I feel like maybe we should not go for him, because we have gone through this one before. His interim time was pretty good to the point that he was given the job permanently. However, I don't think it's a good idea to go back into that route. That leave Michael Carrick, and I don't know if Michael Carrick is willing to come and take the job for just 6 months and then step away from it. That would be kind of difficult. The third choice, personally, I'll throw in there would be Ruud van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was the assistant coach that was let go when Rúben Amorim came in with his coaching staff and everybody, and they had to let go of Van Nistelrooy because he was number 2 and he didn't want to be number 2 to them like that. So he was let go. He took a Leicester City job last season, and he was sacked when Leicester City got relegated. But to me, he's still a very good coach. And I think if you give him this Manchester United squad, he can do a decent job. He can make us qualify for the Champions League. And it'll be a very good addition for him to get another job, because the way it's still ended in Leicester is not the manager we know. It's not the defining factor of him. What would be better for him if he take Manchester United job on an interim basis and do such a good job with the current players that we have, finish top 4, qualify for Europe, put himself in a short market for managerial change, because this summer there's going to be a lot of managerial change. And I think if Van Nistelrooy was smart, this is what he would do. And I think that's the guy we should go for in terms of if we go for somebody. It should be Ruud van Nistelrooy, not Carrick or Ole Gunnar Solskjær. However, I'm done with a choice. One of those 3 choices, I'll be fine with them as long as they don't give it to Darren Fletcher. I don't know. There's nothing against Fletcher. It's that Fletcher has no experience in coaching a late man sport. He was under 18 coach. Impressive. He's doing an impressive job over there, but still, it's an under 18 coach, and we shouldn't be putting that much pressure on him to lead Manchester United first team for 6 months. So please give it to either Carrick, Ole, or Ruud. One of them you can't go wrong with, and let's solve this so we can have a manager by the time we play in the Premier League, because Fletcher is going to be taking care of the FA Cup tie against Brighton. And that's my 2 cents about the crazy week that has been Manchester United week. Let me know of your thought in the comment section below. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ole Gunnar Solskjær, or Michael Carrick would be a good interim manager until we hire the big one in the summer? Do you think it was the right decision to fire Rúben Amorim? And let me know all of those in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next one.